They have played a lot of Siege. Both games they played went all the way to 3 maps.
I mean, Liquid could barely get a round off Wild. I mean, they got 2 in the overall series of that, but the Des touched on it. A massive bounce back from Liquid to be able to recover that, winning a map themselves 7-1 in their next matchup in that lower bracket. But we see our operator bans coming rolling in, and SSG will remove the Nomad initially. Again, on a map like this where you want that freedom, you want to be able to move around, especially when SSG start on the defensive side. Not much of a surprise. You don't want to go up these stairs and get caught by an air jab.
Yeah, and this is Liquid's opportunity to just set the pace on this one on attack. This is border, this is attack. You expect to see a lot of action. Kaid is going to go along with Thatcher, and Liquid were locked in. This is a quick ban they've gone for straight away, and no surprise at all, Malusi is going to get taken out. So a lot of work being put in just to make the roaming game a little bit easier.
Well, what SSG have done is what they've enabled by that Malusi ban is essentially an ease or a freedom of movement. Those Banshees, when you need to make a push in, like for example, Beeper Stairs, when you need to go through that doorway, those metal detectors, the last thing you want to fight against is that Banshee. It's a distraction. It's another thing to check and look at as you go in. So again, they want this map to be as fluid as possible, meaning I'm getting a little bit excited for the fireworks these teams can put on for it, because this map, we've all played it. Everyone has played this map, and you know it is a little bit crazy and a little bit reliant on who can pull the trigger quickest. As we dive into our prep phase here, SSG on the defensive side, and they've opted to go to, no surprise, on retailers from the first side.
Top floors where we're going. There was a lot of build-up on the desk about Mira, but not being brought in round number 1, which is available and open for these teams when they want to take it.
I'm not too sure they will. She's not as effective as she used to be, and also teams have got a lot of experience doing it. In border, you end up very close to mirror windows, and it can be a nuisance. But this entire CC area, this isn't going to be played like old border. It's all going to be chewed open, opened up rotations inside of that box, inside of CC, trying to control that 90 area with pressure inside of Fountain. Basically, what SSG are doing is expanding and taking complete control of the top floor, and chewing up that area inside of that floor, inside of Archives, meaning they're likely to have a player down below, which is a great idea, because you can deny a fast attempted plant. And Liquid, look at their lineup. They got that Lion, they got an Ashe, which isn't a very regular thing to see. So I think they're going to go pretty aggressive in terms of how they want to play this out.
Think Ashe, Zofia, Lion, it is all set up that whenever they push that trigger, the attack will come very fast. But drones being taken out as Nesk looks down the long way towards double wall, hoping for an attempted run out. But SSG not going to gift them with that free open and pick, which is always tense. The first 40 seconds of any best of 3, you're sitting waiting to see who's going to be the first one to take the risk.
These teams are going to be tentative here. Again, the stakes, it is, yes, the first round of best of 3, the first map of best of 3, but they are in the lower bracket. So good information spotted out down below. That's going to be Ask trying to chew open that floor to clear these power positions. So far doing a good job of it, just trying to catch something. But Liquid, outside the building still, not a whole lot of control. They're not going for that traditional clear from the east side, not taking stairs. It's all going to be around clearing CC. A good camera spot all the way up. You normally see Valkyrie cameras there, but now they're going to have information of the player playing inside of single in that office doorway. Nesk will send that nade, knowing fine well it's going to get caught out. But so far, Liquid very spread out. They're trying a lot of angles, trying to clear the poking and prodding, looking for a way in.
Yeah, and Ask is going to keep redecorating that top floor. Dexter is going to get the opener as he starts this one off really well, and hot and cold. Still playing inside security, holding his ground, and that's what you can do with his ammo. You can make it very difficult for those attackers to get lines of sight. And look at the pixel he's created for himself looking towards that window.
If you get caught out by that one, you're not going to be too happy at all. Houghton in a great position just to hold out and lock in. With a minute left in this round, it's going to be very tense. They've lost Nesk, lost those nades, they've lost the ability to heal. But there's resets. He's going to find Rampy. Dexter will get that trade, though. SSG give nothing for free. And it's going to be all hellfire now as Ask is going to get Houghton. That's control of CC. Ask will find a second one now, and that's Dexter. There is Paulu on the Bosco, leaving Fultz in a 1v3. 40 seconds. Liquid haven't made a direct push in the site yet. They just cleared the roam, but he won't be able to find Paulu, who finds False. Team Liquid grab the very first round, and as I mentioned, this is a side that loves momentum. They're emotional, like the entire LATAM region. They love to be on top, and on top early, so this is just more motivation, more fuel on the fire for them to keep this rolling. Great start from them.
And Ask and Palu did a great job creating opportunities to move into the site. But once again, it was structure and aggression from Liquid. They spent the first minute or two diagnosing what way the defense was. And then once that opening pick came, the floodgates opened, they pushed in. But SSG fought back. That was a very much back and forward round, but Team Liquid took round 1.
Good start from them. Early days in this series. SSG won't repeat the side again. They'll go down the vents. A traditional rotation coming out from SSG. Normally, you see teams going towards bathroom tellers now. It's, again, kind of a little bit of flashback to the old style of how Border's getting played. Likelihood they're going to have some extension upstairs to try and deny that. They might even spread themselves across CC and Armory to just make this clear very difficult for Liquid. When you're on a map that's compact like this on Border, there's a lot of key areas to hold, and looking one of them, it's going to be the tension and customs as well. Expect a lot of contesting around this zone. Liquid want that control because it has a massive cut-off potential. You get essentially control of square PCs. You have so much pressure from there, and SSG will likely hold on to it, but they don't want to spread themselves too thin.
And SSG, they've got their defense set up, and I'm looking at Team Liquid, and they attacker repicked onto Ying. They attacker repicked onto Finka and Buck as well. Buck, of course, very good operator for creating those lines of sight down when you can use a little bit of verticality, and now the drone work begins. Nesk getting on his drones, and this is where you can win or lose a round based on how much intel you get. And once again, that cam being put in place, and thankfully our observer showed anyone at home how to get there.
Exactly, so now you know how to set that one up and get a lot of information inside of Office, and that will be prying onto Rampy. What will he be able to do there? That wall's not reinforced on single, so he might get caught out. Nor is triple fully reinforced either. Someone's inside of tellers down below as well, so they're beginning to encroach on his position, but he still has a little bit of time, a little bit of space to breathe, as it will be Asked, because it's already inside of tellers. His AK-12 will sing and tear through that wall or that doorway, but he's just really being cautious right now. The rest of Liquid somewhat quiet, gathering information and just waiting for the right moment to pounce.
It's all about picking the right opportunities. Do not rush into any decisions. Rampy is going to swing at the right time, gets Nisk, drops the hatch, and it's a little bit of guerrilla warfare. Ask is going to chase him down though. The red ping is coming out, 2 defenders being spotted out, and Ask will now begin that patient game. But as he went to use his util, there is Rampy on the double, and he has just stolen 2 kills in the first minute and a half.
Massive pick there from Rampy. Again, this is the type of player you expect to pop off and go large in these situations. Palu next up to the plate. The case is down there as well, so Rampy's going to be very keen to keep fighting and brawling for that key position. He'll fall back a little bit now, but it looks a little bit troublesome, a little bit turbulent for the side of Liquid. A nade getting ready and prepped and sent in by Resets, but I don't think that will land a whole lot. He's going to be very cautious in doing so, takes a mess of damage, but oh, there that nade lands on the Rampy, and that could be an opening. Finding one more pick draws them level in player count.
50 seconds left, and that EDE again from Lion will pop to freeze those defenders in place, and there are 4 of them for Team Liquid to deal with. Oh, Dexter getting a little bit of help. That will be PSK down, and now Palu gets in a gunfight as he creates that line of sight, but SSG holding strong, making Liquid work for everything. 1v4 clutch is here, opportunity for Palu, but can he do it? Once again, slowing the pace of the round down, but you cannot slow it too much. You've only got 20 seconds, but you have the case. There is a little bit of tension building here, but he needs to make something happen. Dexter won't give him the time, and there is another round win for SSG.
A good pick from them. Good round from them. SSG getting themselves back level. They need to keep themselves close to Liquid. They can't let them run away with it. This is really important for them to stay in this. But a massive play again. SSG will play themselves very widely spread across this map, trying to be as much of a nuisance towards Liquid as possible. And we saw that unraveling before you. So we tie ourselves up 1 round apiece.
Yeah, Dexter's just been so impressive over the course of the games that we have seen SSG play. A lot of pressure. You're coming into a new team. Your first real opportunity to put in some work with them is at a major international LAN like this one. And Whippet, what can I say? This has been a very good back and forth so far.
It has been. These teams are really close. Even Tristan talked about it on the desk. It is a situation of a 50-50. This map as well, because it is heavily attacker favored. So you'd imagine Liquid would be able to have some success here. And Liquid are a very capable side as well. But SSG have been a very difficult nut to crack. No matter what iteration it is of them, they have this level of structure and they don't give you anything for free. They make it very difficult to find their opening pick. They find it very difficult to really get into your flow. And if they can do that against Liquid on a map that you'd imagine they'd get flowing on, that could be problems. But early days, only round 3.
It is only round 3 and the round has begun. Looking at that attacker lineup, PSK's decided to go ahead and bring in Zero, an operator we don't see all that often, but another way to get intel on where the members of SSG are playing. Oryx though being used by SSG, and that is an operator, look, we say a lot of when quickest operator in the game, can move from one floor to the other with ease, and great for getting in behind the attack.
Always capable of getting those last-minute flanks, but typically works a little bit better on larger maps. Like Below would be a perfect example of that. Number of hatches you can vault on up and be a little bit of a surprise. Again, a lot of this is different on Border because of how compact this map is. You really don't have a lot of breathing room. Pressure arrives very, very quickly when upon this map, and Liquid will want to apply that pressure very, very quickly to SSG. Nesk, though, one point of this has not really been in this game so far yet to strike up the scoreboard. So I wonder how that one will continue to play out. They want one of their best guns firing on all cylinders, especially considering this best of 3 separates them from continuing on to tomorrow or going home tonight.
Yeah, and it's not going to start in this round because Fultz will take him down, making it a 5v4 for SSG now. Alibi holding those angles, and this is the minute and 30 gone, so back on the drones, try to work out where the defense is strong. Another drone down though, as in side sight. We will once again see Dexter denying that information, and PSK scrolling through the cams, but nothing to be found as most of them have been removed. That would explain it.
Yeah, that would do. Oh, so let's go back to this.
Nice time to go back too.
It is.
Picking up a kill, a headshot. That's a perfect timing for us getting back. And this is the red thing is shown above. Again, Ask using Thermite. Used Ash first time around and used it to deadly effect. But he has just pushed up the metal stairs. But a yellow ping comes to give away the position of the defender. There's the pre-fire around the corner. And Bosco will fall. 4v2 now. And it's all down to just isolating those members of SSG if Team Liquid want to win this round. But they've got a nice little cross being held. The prone Dexter will get the kill as he gets back up onto his feet. And it's all down to Palu.
Paulo left in a 1v3 now. Was a 1v4 for a brief moment as that handoff landed, but he will find Dexter, who was already on a single point of HP. He'll try and creep his way up by beepers, but at this stage with 27 seconds left in the round, he's not got a very fair chance of winning this one against 3 members of SSG. He'll charge on in. He's got an LMG, so he can spray for days, but he spots 1 player by Sandwich. He has to find himself a very tricky fight. He's not even close to side as well. And with 15 seconds left, you might concuss, you might stun, you might get that pick on the Fultz, but damage is done at this stage. Liquid can surely not win this now, and I think it is a fair bet to say this round is all but wrapped up for SSG. 2 seconds, 1 second, and now SSG find themselves 1 round in the lead.
Yeah, really good round from them again, just eating up so much of the clock. And you saw it there. Pally was still chasing kills up inside Armory whenever we were, 20 seconds left in the round and the site was down a bathroom.
I mean, this is, again, the SSG roam presence, though, because look at the way SSG are set up, right? The entire top floor, that's their domain. The sites on the bottom, yeah, that's fair and well, but you need to clear this upstairs. You need to get them cleared away, and guess what? Liquid struggled with that one, and the Zami was a big factor of that, really making it difficult to get an easy pick, an easy fight. SSG playing fantastically so far. I'll preface once again, very early days in this series, but at this stage for Liquid, again, their attacks seem a little bit muted. They've really not had, I think, the punch, the bite, the power behind that attack that you'd expect when you look at this roster.
Yeah, Liquid, they were very disappointing in the first game of the groups as well whenever they played against Wild, and this is an opportunity for them to redeem themselves. SSG, they went out last night. They played a lot, but this is their opportunity to get themselves into the semi-finals as well, because let's be real, NA were undefeated going into the last game tonight, and they took 2 losses back-to-back, and SSG really want to make their ways into the semis as well.
Oh, every team does. No one wants to lose. No one wants to lose on this stage. No one ever actually wants to lose a match at all, especially international competition. They don't want your region to lose. And so SSG fighting for that one. Liquid actually fighting for the pride of Latam right now. The only surviving Latin American team still standing. Falcons crumbled MIBR on the B stream earlier today. The home favourites from the MENA region Falcons, 2-0 victory against MIBR, meaning that later on today, keep your eyes peeled for TSM versus Falcons here. That's going to be a very exciting one. But we must worry about SSG Liquid for the time being. And once again, Liquid, I have a feeling it's going to be a slow, methodical, almost lethargic initial push to try and get this some control. They have a lot of uppers that you don't see a whole lot of. I mean, we have an Ashe in play on Ask. It's not very common to see that getting brought out, but I will not question it. I trust Liquid in this situation. That drone in play once again. Complete full information inside of office, but what can they do upon it?
Well, that is the question, but this is very much like the first round again. The same lineup. Ask was able, and along with the help of Palu, to just take down the SSG attack, but Houghton is holding one angle, Dexter holding the other. SSG doing what they do very well, just staying patient, waiting for the cross to come in, and Houghton will just deny any possible entry, as well as bouncing that nade off the Kiba barrier, getting in a gunfight, but falling back into corners. And Houghton, this is exactly what his job is to do. Stay alive, be a nuisance, be annoying, and force Team Liquid to commit to clear you.
And Liquid really need to clear him, but that's going to be Houghton now cleared away. Nesk, his opening kill of the series as well, gets the job done, clears away his army before any more time can be wasted or damage done. So Liquid now in the best position they've been in for a little while. Dexter very much taking it down to the level, trying to take that fight by the AC units outside, but lots of angles open up by SSG to try and fight it. But Dexter might be finding himself looking at too many angles. He's got a crossfire assisting him by single wall instead of office. But with a minute left in this round, you'd imagine Liquid's pressure needs to begin to mount up and put more direct pressure on the side itself. One player playing inside of box or inside of blue, and that will be Fultz on the Warden as well, so he can really keep himself safe in case any of those stuns come whizzing his way.
And pressure will build and build, but who will crack underneath it? Nesk, as you said, he's got his first kill of the series, and he is just inching, sneaking his way down. Ask already in position as well, waiting for a defender to get a little bit curious on the door. Fultz will get more than curious as he takes down Ask with the headshot, and SSG doing a great job at delaying time. Fultz is going to slam Nesk, making it a 4v3, but there is Palu getting traded out with Dexter. Dexter taken down by resets. It is a 2v2. In the window will come PSK, going to get taken down, and SSG now in a 2v1, and Bosco clutches it out.
Never really in doubt with that one, to be honest. Liquid, you need to be a little bit more assertive of this map. It's a map that you can be aggressive. You can be essentially that Brazilian style, get in the face, take the fights, try and really upset the flow and setup of SSG. But SSG setup is proving to be too difficult, or is Liquid just a little bit cautious? Are they playing not to lose right now? Again, I'll throw another asterisk. This is SSG's map as well, so they're of course very, 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 very well prepared for it, knowing how this team operates. Lycan wouldn't let anyone go into a map without knowing every in and out. So Liquid, not the ideal start from them, trailing by 2 rounds, but SSG dominant so far on the defensive side of border, which is a little bit unusual because this is an attacking favorite map.
The one thing I will say though, Whippet, is you and I, over the course of this tournament, the teams that we have had have tended to lose their opening map in their map pool. But as we look into this one now, and the one thing I want to point out is, did you see Rampy in that little clip? He is pumped. He is good to go. And you can tell by the way his body language is how up for a game SSG are.
Oh, Rampy's always up for it. Rampy is always there. I mean, one of the most vocal players on that roster. We've had the privilege of listening to them play out in their B Stream studio. And you can tell it's an SSG round because, well, you're going to hear Rampy win. No matter what. No matter if it's a really dire situation, they just scraped together that round, he is there to be that vocal point, that life for his team. And it really is one of those, both very emotional squads, but Rampy is the core of the emotion on the side of SSG, and so far that core has been doing a very good job of getting rounds against Team Liquid. 3-1 the scoreline, and so far if Liquid don't get a little bit of pace, a little bit of tempo behind these attacks, I think we might be on sort of a very, very dominant SSG defensive half.
Yeah, SSG have looked really good, and it's been down to those players just making it so difficult for Liquid to really get any ground whatsoever. Houghton playing Diamond, or was not Houghton this time, it's Dexter playing as Ami's, making it so difficult to even get in towards CCTV. Rampy peeking around the corner, looking the long angles. That's something, of course, you can do with that DMR in hand of a Rooney, but it's still 2 minutes left to go in the round.
With 2 minutes left now in the round, Liquid haven't really got anything for it. This is the problem right now, because this map, you'd imagine, and I've said it like 1,000 times, it feels like already, I would have thought Liquid would go for a little bit more aggressive style, try to fight Liquid or try to fight SSG a little bit more in their face, and not even necessarily being heavily contested on their entryways. Resets has walked in and relatively without any real people fighting him in his face. They still have to clear upstairs, minute 35 have to go, the site's down in vents again, and SSG aren't giving anything to Liquid. They're just going to play reserve. And why would they give anything to Liquid? They know that right now, Liquid's their own worst enemy. They're slow, they're not getting executes rolling, so why take a risk? Why take a gamble?
Exactly, and if SSG can win this round, they'll be 4-1 up. They could even go 5-1 based on how they're playing, especially with Fultz able to get the open. And again, but Ask will trade it out, and that's much better for Team Liquid. You need to be able to trade ones out, especially on attack.
Massive trade. I mean, you need to stay close to your team. You need to be basically nothing for free. Is a really good way to play this game. But you got top floor control now. Less than a minute to work with. There's your first Lion scan sent off to try and immobilize SSG, but no one for SSG is faced. They're holding their positions. Bosco will have to relocate now as verticals begin to get opened up above him. And this is where Liquid need to really start thinking about, okay, what is our execution? What's our plan? Who's going to go to main door? Who's going to go to vents window? You got 30 seconds to do it, and you got to get moving. You got to get there quickly. Oh, SSG, they'll sit, they'll wait, they'll bask in the timer going down. Paulie will try and find a pick through the floor, but no, there's Rampy. Once again with that DMR, shuts it down. 20 seconds, and here comes Liquid. Ask will try and stick to that plant. It will be at 50% now, but SSG have the information. But Nesk is there on cover, not for long. There's Bosco. He's going to find one more. No, that's Hot, who picks it up, leaving it all down to Ask in a 1v2. He's going to run away, trying to get some space, buy himself some time. But SSG are hunting. They're getting close, and now they can tap out the case, try and cover. That's what they'll do. It's down to Ask. He's going to call out with a shotgun. SSG find themselves another round. They lead 4-1. And Liquid seemingly don't have the answer to this defense.
4 rounds in a row for SSG now after Liquid opened this up in this one, and they are looking oh so good. This is as good as they looked on the first map against Wild in the previous round again, where they were just really dominant when they needed to be. And for Liquid, they desperately need this next round. If you take a the win rate, if you take a 5-1 half, you've practically won every map you play.
I mean, I don't think we saw what, TSM go 5-1 round down every time in the last matchup on this.
G are the ones that are playing really well.
I mean, it's SSG. We expect this quality from them. They're an absolutely top side. And the way they're playing this is essentially just so counter to what Liquid want to do. Liquid don't want to necessarily deal with this massive roam presence upstairs. They want a little bit more of an easy avenue. Everyone does, of course. But SSG's setup have been perfect at burning time, burning utility, and forcing Liquid into really awkward positions. And it just feels like Liquid don't really have a kind of an overall arching plan of what they want to do or how they want to solve that problem.
They do not, and they're going to use 3 of those attacker repicks to take out Thermite, Lion, and Ace. And there are those those Kiba barriers being used once more. And there's Liquid they've really struggled with getting past them.
I mean, we look at what Liquid are bringing roster-wise, okay? You got a Zofia, so you got those 2 impacts, and you got the nades on the side of Finka. Realistically, that's it. You can have a Gone 6 on Lion. They don't really have the best clearing setup, and Azami's always a nightmare to try and clear that utility, because essentially, you clear one, you should probably put another one down. And you clear that, guess what? A third one's coming your way. So Liquid are really forced into a little bit more of a clear, heavy style than they want to play, and that's slowing them down, and that's ultimately been why SSG have been so good so far. SSG don't give anything for free. They don't give up those free picks at all, really making Liquid try to work, and as Liquid try to work further and they have to get more space, they don't get picks, they get frustrated, and SSG will just live in that pressure pocket all day long.
Oh, they are loving this. They're loving every minute of Team Liquid getting frustrated. Rampy has got the Castle Barricade one way, which will just keep him and Finka on either side as things stand. Finka unleashing those rounds. 34 bullets now for Neskin. The one bad thing about the LMG is that reload time, and Rampy from his position and break will take out one. Dexter gets another. Team Liquid, they are just falling apart now. SSG with a 5v3 advantage, and they're just unable to get any sort of open and picks going.
Oh, Liquid. Oh, no. This is so not the team that I expected to turn out today. They seem a little bit too slow to really get things rolling. SSG's map choice here on border, but can they recover this round? Really just a little bit of patience from them now. Resets waiting, lurking. But SSG, they're comfortable. They're really, really comfortable in these moments of silence, but Volts maybe was a little bit too anxious to get himself in a fight, but doesn't matter. Rampy's there for the trade. Nesk will find one back on the Dexter, and that could be a little bit of a lifeline for the side of Liquid. What can they do from it? Nesk is alive with his body resets. Just on a minute left to try and clutch this round. A nade ready, sent in, nowhere close to finding damage nor a down. He'll prep, reload and prime his LMG. With 45 seconds left to go, he decides to take the plunge.
He has dropped and now he's looking to get a kill. Peeking through the gap at the members of SSG, they're barely even moving. They don't want to give away any form of audio cue whatsoever. There's no drones for Team Liquid whatsoever. So as you like to say, they are going in blind. Nesk peeks around the corner though and he'll take down Bosco, making it a 2v2. Now retreat and go get the case. That was a really good decision not to pick it up before you took on that gunfight, because if you had have lost it, you were in a bad spot. But there's just 14 seconds to go. Nesk is going to get a triple, putting himself in a 2v1. He's got resets, holding for some support. Rampy needs to push. He goes the wrong way, and with time going down, the case is down, and it's a 1 versus 2. There's the one from Rampy, and now he finds himself going up against Nesk. Nesk is finally turned up, but Rampy gets the quad, and there is the defuse. SSG 5-1 split. He is so good.
I want to see this player come. I want to see how hyped up they are. With the deagle in hand, Rampy shuts it down. I thought for a moment a glimpse of an old school Nesk making a massive play, but no. Rampy, through the rotate, finds the cover and doesn't even need his SMG. Pulls out his pistol and gets the job done. SSG, as you said, gives it 5-1 on the defensive split on a map that leans the offensive side. Red flags waving for the side of Liquid, and that shot, when you need it's often quicker to swap your second than it is to reload. And Rampy certainly learned that message.
Oh, that is just really miserable. You know, it's going to put some misery on Team Liquid because they thought they had that in the bag. It's a 2v1. It's the case is down. The win rate there is in the high 90%, but SSG are able to pull it. They're just 2 rounds away now from taking their map. This is the most comfortable that we've seen a team on their own map since Wild against Liquid yesterday.
I couldn't agree more, actually. I mean, the SSG look in complete control. They are not panicked. They're not flustered. They're so confident right now. Of course, you know, they're 5-1 up. Confidence, I think, is pretty deserved at this stage. I'm finding it hard to say anything about Liquid right now. This is a very muted side. They needed something, a spark on the offensive side. Now they swapped their defense. This is where I'm going to be concerned. SSG are a very well-oiled machine. And with the addition of Dexter, who has been terrifying in 1v1s and taking gunfights in general, and with faults on the Finca, I really think you might need to wake some players up on Liquid to be able to contest with this.
And Gridlock being used by Dexter here as well. And honestly, Dexter was brought in to be a bit of an X factor too at times on attack, and this is now what the situation we find ourselves in. They've got that window. They've got 2 players repelled onto lockers, and here they come pushing in. The diffuser is going down. This has caught Liquid by surprise. SSG clearly watching Wild yesterday, as Bosco will get the case. Cotton gets 2, Rampy gets 1. It's a 5v2. Ask and resets. They have got a lot of work to do. They're going to have to reset, and with that swing, they pull one back. But whip it, the way things are going right now, there's a score line that people don't quite like, and Liquid are on the way to it.
If Liquid gets 7-1 again, I will be very well. I don't even know how to feel about that one, but a foregone conclusion that round when the case went down so early. Rampy shot. Can they close that out right here, right now? Or does Liquid have one more lifeline, one more haymaker to throw to keep themselves in the fight here on map number 1 of this best of 3 series?
Yeah, Liquid, the thing that really hurts me about this is because I have a lot of love for Liquid too, and they really don't seem to have an answer when teams go aggressive and fast. The rush works against them time and time again, and now they need to win 5 rounds. This game is a foregone conclusion at this point for this map. The SSG are going to get the win. It's just for Liquid, it's just about looking good.
this could be the most heroic comeback of all time.
This is true.
I don't believe it. I don't. I mean, I really want Liquid to win this. I really want Liquid to try and come. Because what a storyline this would be. 6-1 back and you get this overtime and you get close it out round 15. That would be massive. But they've not shown enough against SSG to really have that. And they're going to the same side again. And how many times in Wild? And this is going to be fast again. Like, if they do the same execution again, with the same, like maybe just a small variation, but it doesn't look like they're going to do that at all, I'm going to be raising massive question marks, because this is what Wild done against Liquid. Wild done the same thing time in, time again, and Liquid didn't adapt. They didn't change. They were caught out by it time and time again. But I think SSG may be not considering the exact same method of madness again.
It's not too far away either, though. Houghton is still on that sandwich window. You've got a player up on top of Bus as well, and they've gotten rid of those. But oh, whip it! There goes. This is the push. It's coming in.
Oh my!
It's a different variation of the same idea as Houghton pushed in. PSK will get one, but the case is down. 4v5. Liquid with 5 players up, but 40 seconds left to go on this one. And SSG looking to take their map. Resets though. That kill will help. It's a 5v3, but look at Dexter's position. Anybody who comes around the corner will find the angle against them. A peek on the window. PSK takes some damage and he's going to get down. Jumping out windows, jumping outdoors. But look at the player below.
Rampy has this one, essentially. He has to get some information upon it, and he might be able to find that now. He'll chew open that floor. He'll look for the pick. Oh, it's going to be a very close one. Nesk, are you going to stick this? Nesk is going to stick it! Liquid, find a lifeline! Rampy millimeters away from closing that round and closing the map. But Nesk, confident in sticking that one out. I thought that was a foregone goal. I thought SSG essentially already punched our ticket to Oregon.
I had already, started to get ready to go back to the desk. That's how much that looked like that was a round one for SSG. Now, devil's advocate. This is one of the most passionate teams in all of Siege, and you've just given Liquid a massive boost in confidence on winning a round they shouldn't have.
Yes and no. Yes and no in that one. Okay, so yeah, it's all well and good that we got that round. But how much of that's going to change the fundamentals? SSG's on the same core strategy twice in a row. We're going to put some smokes in, we're going to flash it, we're going to repel someone in sandwich, and they got the plant down in a different position this time, which was a little bit of variation to try and throw off Liquid. It came down to Nesk essentially sticking a plant in what was one of the most dangerous positions. Rampy was so close. I can't even put enough so's on that one to do it accurate to be able to find that head. If Nesk got caught out there, it would have been an Oregon. And so many factors had to go wrong for SSG for that round to happen. I don't know if Liquid. I don't know if that's enough to get Liquid back in this one.
Did Liquid win that round or did SSG lose it?
I think it's the case of SSG losing.
I'd have to agree with you on that one, but this is still match point, one of many that SSG will have if they continue to let Liquid pull rounds back. But it's, as you said, it's either going to be one of the greatest comebacks of all time, or we're just going to see SSG finish what they started. And looking at the way they're going to play, they're going to clear out top floor. They've got the operators in place to do it. It's just a matter of how much time Liquid can burn.
That's the key right now. Liquid just need to make this difficult for SSG. In the same way SSG made it difficult for Liquid, in fact. If you just don't peek, and you sit a little bit more passive, and you just force SSG to take the long way around, you can catch them out. And that's what Liquid need to do. It happened to them, but I don't think SSG have any intention of doing this slow, because they're going to be able to take Armory very, very quickly. They've opened up this wall, that's what Bosco will do. And they have top floor control from this moment, and everyone upstairs is going to get compressed, forced deeper into the Armory, closer to Archives, and one player can pop up there and be able to catch them all. I think Fultz is off on that rotation now.
Yeah, and that is what he's going to try to cut off. There was 3 players up on the top floor, but they began falling back, because once that wall goes, comes a very difficult job to do. Rampy, hoping to catch somebody. That's another one of those rotates that he is holding, and this is what some of the good players just do. They sit still, they hold a rotate, because 9 times out of 10 a defender is going to try to rotate back through sight, and Rampy is in a great position to take advantage of that.
If you get caught by Rampy, no one's going to be happy on the side of Liquid for that one. And this is right now what Liquid's going to do. They're going to sit, I should say, SSG's going to sit and do, they're going to be a little bit passive, wait for Liquid to perhaps make that mistake and find that opening pick. The go button's pressed on that line, that will be Rampy, who's someone to take that fight against PSK. He'll find that one now and probably begin to grow. The case goes down, Houghton finds one, Ast will get that trade back to the Houghton, but Bosco, he's going to stick this one down, and he's going to get it. He does, no! In the moment of before it went down, absolutely incredible to Nile, leaving Dexter all alone. Case in no man's land, and this time it's a case of Liquid winning around 40 seconds. And he's gonna wait. He'll boost himself up. He'll get himself ready. He's gonna drop, but he's gonna be dropping into the arms of Liquid. If he can find this, one of the momentous moments for the new addition to this team, but no, Paulo shuts it down.
That, the combination of the explosives and the frost mat, I would love in the replay to see exactly how many seconds were left before that case was going to go down, because it would have been a little bit of a different story. But that's 2 rounds back to back now that Liquid have pulled into their favor. SSG, though, they're still miles ahead when you look at the score, 6-3.
But that's Liquid getting rounds together consecutively. And I mean, that's a big benefit for them. If they can really kind of build that momentum, it will be huge for them.
Protect your bomb.
I'm still so like torn in this one. I want Liquid to do well. I'm a massive fan of this roster, of this team, of this org. SSG just had every single answer to everything, bar for that one with that C4 denied the fan. But I think Bosco was maybe less than a second away from getting that down.
It was close. It was so close. And SSG, once again, though, the minute that they decided to execute, they went all in on making it work. Now, once again, we're going to see Liquid set up the top floor for that Roman game. And there's that terrifying noise popping off once again of the ACS-12. And it's, look at the line of sight it can make so quickly.
It'll chew through that wall, create line of sight, essentially acts as a kind of pseudo DMR for this defensive side. I mean, some people call it the war drum. Taps away, constant beat of chaos and terror as it sends its lead down range. Will this be enough, though, to be a disruption to our SSG, as well as the mirror setup being brought up for the very first time in this matchup as well, considering she's been available for all the rounds we've had so far, and already one of them's been popped.
Yeah, the Twitch drone able to open up one of them, making that position a little bit more difficult to hold. But this is something that we have seen Brazilian teams do here on the past. They love using Mira, and this is a site where you can really make advantage of her to take control of that top floor. 2 minutes and 20 though to go in this one, and this is where SSG, they're still getting themselves into position, having a little bit of drone work, and they've managed to get the wall open. The impact trick isn't really going to be able to fully stop that from opening up, but SSG, they're just doing their job.
SSG will go through the tech list best they can. They know what they need to do, they know what they want to do. So that's what they'll try and do. They'll impose their playstyle on Liquid. They're not really playing the counter them in particular right now. Dexter will try and get his way inside of triple wall now. Put some pressure. The open mirror inside of Fountain is going to be a bit of a disturbance, but doesn't matter. It's opened up, but Nesk is still going to peek it and find that on the Dexter. Meaning with a minute 40 left to go, Liquid find themselves getting the opening pick in this round. On the defensive side as well, that's massive for them. They're beginning to warm up into this one a little bit. We might have a game on our hands if SSG can't claw this one round back. Minute 30 left.
Nesk started this one going 0-3, and since then he has gone 7-4. He has been activated, and now Bosco will look to get another wall opened up, but you can just hear those Kiba barriers being thrown as the defenders are putting in a little bit of defensive utility to hold back the push, and that ACS-12 opening up another hatch, but we're inside the final minute now, and Bosco will open that main wall. And look, PSK peeking around the corner, looking to get a little bit aggressive.
Houghton, though, will try and get aggressive himself, and he's going to get sat down by Ask. Finds a second down the round for Liquid. 3 versus 5 in their favor. There's the trade. Bosco will get that one done. They have a little bit of control now inside of CC. Gamble now will open up that mirror window. No, there is Nesk from downtown on the vault. 30 seconds left, and now SSG, you got to solve this puzzle. Rampy on the buck, an operator he's been so iconic for in the past. What magic can he find? 25 seconds. Bosco vaults in, but they're so separate from each other. And the site downstairs as well. But Rampy, he's going to just get aggressive. He's going to go full set, but he's not going to check every angle. The player on Workshop might just catch him. It's going to be a brawl with Nesk, and he's going to win it 3 in the round. That's Paula who gets it. Resets, finds Bosco, and Liquid might just be finding their way back into it.
Are you
Team that looked down and out to getting those 2 rounds that have built themselves off, acted as that springboard, and now they're here. 2 rounds away from getting themselves level with SSG, 2 rounds away from getting themselves into overtime, and really continuing on this fight here on border. So I think a little bit of a case just warming up to this matchup. It is SSG's map choice again, and we're really going against the script here because this is meant to be an attacker-sided map.
It is, but the defenders coming in clutch, and I love it. I like to see it whenever defending sides start to put up some rounds. Once again, the brunt of the defense, no matter what site you play on this map, you tend to play that top floor because it is so important for everywhere you want to go. And it looks like SSG, they've saw the site, but they're not going to rush this time. They're going to play a more standard attack.
It makes,
Question mark.
I mean, this is pretty standard for what we see on border. It's going to be a way more aggressive style lineup again because you're going to likely find yourself in way more gunfights in the standard map just by how tightly compressed everything is on this map. And you see like Dexter's always checking these stairs? You got to get cautious now. They're getting a little bit worried about something crazy coming out from the pocket of Liquid. I don't think Liquid are going to be that daring, but of course, runouts can be very well done if you have good information. Wall should open. Dexter will spot that one out, and the Warden will be the first target he has to fight. Over there, that will be PSK, not someone you really want to go brawling with, and you can't really clear him easily. As you send those flashbangs to try and force him away and burn ADSs or burn him eyes, you can throw on those goggles and see right through them.
And there is that second lion scan, once again pausing those defenders in place, but no work being done by SSG off of them. PSK using Warden, still using that reinforced wall to keep the attackers on their toes on the balcony. And while all this is going on, Ask has snuck his way into security up by the window. They're so caught out looking in towards lockers that this could be the chance for Ask to catch them. But there's the drone giving away the position. Another drone comes in, another drone shot. He is coming under fire from multiple angles, and finally Bosco will take him down. It's a 5v4, and now SSG have the numerical advantage, and they are pushing towards Liquid. They're looking to get not one, they're looking to get a second one to make it a 5v3.
PSK will be the front line of defense in this situation on that Warden. Everything from the vocal point of team or from SSG is towards that main armory wall. They'll likely send someone to rotate later on to try and catch them out, maybe even go up the sandwich window. A minute left in this round. Bosco might be the tip of the spear, queued up with the Vinca of Fultz as well, of Dexter I should say. And now that's that rotation. They're going to East Stairs now. At least one person. That's going to be the Twitch of Fultz trying to find something. The Lion Scan goes off again, but there's Dexter, finds PSK. And just like that, Bosco's going to try and stick the case. They're not going to waste any time. They're not going to hunt for any more picks. And Rampy down below might be the fight, but no! Nesk misses a throw. The case surely goes down, but he pulled on off. Paul who finds that on the Bosco, leaving this on a 4 versus 3 in favor now of SSG, but Liquid might have control. And look at Paul on the flank. He's going to be an absolute distraction, but Fultz swings him wide and finds the pick. A smoke popped in, and they might be able to try and get that case down, but 25 seconds. Liquid, can you hold on?
25 seconds is an eternity, though, for both of these sides. But Nesk is holding the door, playing hyper-aggressive, but still no push coming in. Resets, pulls one back. Fultz has the diffuser in his back pocket, but Liquid have survived the initial part of the push, and they've got the case down as they tried to rotate through Fountain. Case picked up again, pushing in behind that chassis. There's the kill from Resets. That is surely a round win for Liquid, and they are 1 round away from overtime.
They're getting there. They're getting close. I can begin to feel it for Liquid. They're beginning to feel it as well. SSG, you had this game in the bag. You were 6-1 up. Oh no, things have got a little bit dodgy for them now. This is a dangerous position to find yourself in a 1-round shootout, deciding if you go to the next map of the series or you're stuck on border for a little bit longer. Liquid would love to enjoy their stay at border, but SSG very much want to see the back end of this map as we move on to round number 12. The end of regulation here. Who will be the victor of this round will be a very different story. Vents will be the site of choice from Liquid. What will SSG do? What can they bring to close this one out? And the biggest thing I'm going to say is, how is the mentality in the camp holding up right now? Because two emotional teams going against each other, and we've just seen essentially a reverse sweep.
And have you seen the operators? They have 6 picked over. This has Rush written all over it. Blitz, Lion, Ying, Glaz, and Finka. This will be fireworks. One thing is for sure, this is going to be fast. We will know very quickly.
They're going to go through that main door. I have no doubt about it. They're going to go through that main door in the vents. Look where they've all spawned. So they will use a Gone 6. They'll clear the barrier. They'll clear any barbed wire on that as well. That's why the loosely ban very, very key in this situation. Hot and cold, very, very, very important for this as they creep and crawl their way up. What will they do? He gets the case up. It's a very critical moment in this one. As they're going to try and get themselves ready. They're waiting at the gates. This rush is coming. They go. Oh, but Ask will find Dexter. That's one massive pick so early, and this might upset the complete rhythm of this round. Sending in the smokes. That's going to be hot and cold, and he's going to be forced to be the tip of the spear, and in they go. Fultz will try and get it, but no! PSK shuts down Houghton, and this is going to be a disaster for SSG. The first set of Candelas go off, and the case is still cold on the ground. 2 minutes left to go, and it's going to be a disaster if Bosco can't find more heroics, but it's falling apart for SSG. Liquid so close to overtime. Rampy alone against 4. So much time to work with, but Paulie will want to take that fight and regret it afterwards, losing that one out.
It is a 1v3 Rampy. That is all fallen apart as it has been a solid defense from Liquid. But can SSG still pull it back? Rampy, we've seen it in the past. He can win these 1vx's. But Team Liquid just have to hold their crosses. They know where the case is. And for Rampy, he has an uphill task. Where are the defenders? He's going to shoot that alibi, which will just deceive his position once more. And he's going to go the long way around, sprinting, making lots of noise. And there is the corner, and Team Liquid have come back from 6-1 down to overtime.
Have we just witnessed a reappearance of Spacestation Gaming? I think so. They were so close to closing this one out, and now, well, Liquid get themselves overtime. I thought it was done and dusted by the end of the very first half. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Welcome to overtime. SSG in the deep waters in the very first map of this series, and it's their map choice as well. Tristan said it was a 50-50 toss-up between these sides, and well, regulation 12 rounds wasn't up to the side, and up to overtime we go.
So yeah, everyone, most of the community will always say that Oregon's an attacker-sided map. We've just witnessed both defenses.
Oregon?
Or sorry, Oregon, my brain. But yeah, they say Border's an attacker-sided map. We've just witnessed both teams go 5-1 on defense.
So against the script. So against the script here. I mean, right, SSG, this stage and this period from Charlotte to Berlin have not had the best of time. Right, Nora Blake, they're not also going to Berlin as well. This is a fair representative. I think both these teams pop this very similar area within their regions. SSG 6-1 up. We're now all tied up 6-6, reverse sweep. How has this happened? How have you let Liquid back into this matchup? Liquid looked dejected. They looked like it was all but over. They were almost pulling the strap book for Oregon before we even went to the second half of this matchup. And now, nerves begin to mount. Pressure begins to build for SSG. I have a feeling Liquid might just take this map.
And Team Liquid get to go on defense twice in this one. Dexter waiting for the run out, but Liquid, they've not been really baited into it at all. They've not ran out. They've played the interior of the map, and they have found that as a very good way to find success on defense. Dexter pushing up on top of those east stairs, and I just love the way these defenders know when to make noise and know when not to make noise. That spray coming out, it just forces them back a little bit. And, at the end of the day, not every bullet fired in a game is trying to get a kill.
I mean, most of them are.
Most, yes, but not all.
When is an LMG? I would say about maybe 3 of them are intent to send towards your target, especially in the current climate that we are in. But SSG, a little bit worrisome right now. Gridlock Track Singer's already sent out, trying to disrupt and change the flow of this one. What will Nesk be able to do on the Jaeger? A classic role from this man's career. Really intrigued to see if he can maybe give us a flashback and a glimpse into the past. As False will send that drone up, and it'll be up here, but Bosco will find that opening pick on the Palu. Much better start here. Finally getting some momentum on the offensive side, but Nesk very dangerously close, playing around triple. He's going to play his life and risk it and lose it. That will be a bit of a disaster from him. C4 sent up by Ask, doesn't connect, doesn't land. And a 4 versus 3, but Ask loses his life as well. Dangerous position, tries to tap away the SMG-11, but nothing finds, nothing connects, nothing lands. Minute 20 left in this round. SSG seemingly in control of our very first round here at OT.
Yeah, Hot and Cold needs to work with the rest of SSG just to clear out the better. Ask does find his way back into sight though. 1 minute and 8 seconds to go. This could be Liquid's first opportunity, well, the second time that they would take the lead. First one being, of course, the first round of the game. But now Resets is going to hold that same angle that we saw Rampy use on attack a little bit earlier. But 52 seconds now. And as it stands, both SSG have the numerical advantage, but all those members of Liquid are in very good positions.
40 seconds. 40 seconds Liquid now need to hold on for. SSG have time to get information. They have the case in hand. They've got lots of utility still to work with. One track, so I'm going to try and cover the audio cue of that plant going down. But these will be nervous few moments, a nervous 20 seconds. PSK still inside of sight, and SSG not making inroads to try and clear him. He's boxed himself in, and he has an angle through a punch hole to try and lock it down. Look at Ask, look at PSK! Finding 2, and Fault's left alone, but he'll drop into Lion's Den. Finding 1, can't make it 2 nor 3. Liquid on map point here on border. Who would have saw this one coming just a few rounds ago?
A little collateral damage coming in on that spray as 2 members fall, and PSK play. You said he was boxed in, but he was able to just box out of that position and get them on to, as you said, match point on SSG's map. And as it stands, we spoke about the fact that Liquid play with their heart on their sleeves. When they get momentum, they are incredibly hard to stop, and they're just 1 round away from breaking the serve again, because we've said it out. Every series we've done, the opening team will lose their map.
Wow. Wow. As a lifelong Liquid fan of this esport, seeing this is the team I fell in love with all those years ago. SSG now with a dilemma upon their hands. They're on the defensive side, which has been way more successful here on border today. No doubt about that. But statistically, this map leans towards the attacking side, and Liquid, they're feeling it. They are really, really feeling this tempo increase in their favor, but they were also really, really bad on their attacking side as well.
They were, but this is a good opportunity to prove us wrong and win this one on attack as they use the attacker repick to change up the lineup a little bit. Ash and Zofia, so they have changed the utility a bit to get rid of some of those Kiba barriers, and we assume that Nesk will have that Gone 6 in the back pocket as well. Couple of nades to use, but the one thing about Liquid attacks is they've not really been very grenade heavy. They've been maybe 2 or 4 max every single round.
They prefer to do it themselves. They like to get in the face of SSG and try and take those fights directly. It is an interesting choice, considering how heavy the climate is right now, but they really don't pick around nades, they pick around other utility. A rare sight to see these days, of course. Even rarer sight, it's going to be that Ash. Not really a common choice either. Paulu leading the charge right now, first in the building, further try and take control. Trying to creep their way up metal stairs. No one from SSG is seemingly aware. Dexter's the closest to it, but you see that silhouette creeping up the stairs, and that nade will force him away. Force him right into Paulu! Rampy gets that trade on the Nesk though, but Ask will fire back and get one to Bosco. SSG is going to get a little bit ropey now, but they fire back, and that's going to be False, who finds Ask, unsettles the nerves for a moment, gets it back to 3 versus 3.
140 to go as things just slow down once more, but Rampy is low HP. Fultz has been taken down as well, so it is a fully healthy Houghton. And Rampy, who is 1 shot away, looking to hold back the 3 members of Liquid, PSK, Palu, and Resets. And they are really starting to flex those muscles, but still Rampy playing the top floor, looking off in the distance, and we just heard it, the zero cam has just been shot in to find a little bit more intel on where these defenders are playing. And as we look, nothing has been revealed just yet, and Rampy will reposition himself back down and in the site to hold back what will be this push from Liquid to try end this map.
Liquid want to close this one out right here, right now. They do not want to be on border any longer at this stage, but tented a few moments. They need information. They need to try and get it found out. They got 4 drones to work with to do so, and all those zero cameras in their pocket as well. 40 seconds, and there's Paulo, there's Rampy, Houghton, your last one standing here in the first map of this series in a 1 versus 3. 38 seconds, and it doesn't last even one. Paulo shuts it down, and Liquid from 6-1 down. Claim border, claim map 1 of this series. Take SSG's map pick, and we're going to Oregon. But Liquid take a bow. Resolve, grit, determination. You've shown it all.